Hello, Sean here, Wahoo Warrior. About to do a 750 point battle report. We're prepping for a tournament coming up in Lincoln, Nebraska at Gauntlet Games. It's going to be the first bolt action tournament that I know about here in the Omaha Metro Lincoln area. So we're doing a little play testing of Army List. I have to admit, just kind of cobbled mine together at the last moment, but it's something I've been wanting to try for a little bit. My thoughts behind a 750 point Army List is that you should probably specialize in one thing and then try to just execute that. If you try to take an all-comers list, then you're probably going to end up short because there's not a whole lot of versatility in the 750. I mean, I love the 750 point range though, because I think it brings a lot of opponents different options. I'm going to go over my Army List real quick, and it's going to be very small and elite, kind of. I have two Hanamags. They're both inexperienced. Hanamags are, they only have a medium machine gun to the front there. And I have a first lieutenant, the one with the +2. First lieutenant. I did pay the extra points for the first lieutenant, so he's got a +2. I have a Pioneer squad. It's a very small squad with a flamethrower, 4 submachine guns. I have a Veteran Grenadier squad. They have 4 assault rifles and 1 Panzerfaust. And then I have a 5-man regular squad of infantry, a Panzerschreck team, and then a 20mm flak Verling gun, which is the quad light autocannon and aircraft. Taking that for 2 reasons. One, I need to prompt myself to finally get that thing painted, and then 2 is that I was thinking of taking a sniper, and my sniper would be, his main responsibility would be to try to take out air and artillery observers right off the bat. My list is very vulnerable to that stuff, as I've only got 2 Hanamags, and I'm kind of relying on getting across into some decent terrain right away. So I'm going to try the anti-aircraft gun up, because the reason I have that is if I do end up facing some light tanks or light armor, I do have something to shoot back at other than just a Panzerschreck. So that's what I'm going with, and this is not set in stone by any means as far as what I'm going to actually take to the tournament next month. And if anybody's in the Lincoln, Omaha, eastern Nebraska, western Iowa area, and they want to come to that, it's Lincoln, Nebraska Gauntlet Games, and it's going to be August 15th. It's supposed to be 3 games, 750 points. 1 reinforced platoon, maximum order dice of 12. I think that was the restrictions. Alan, can you think of anything different? I think that's about right.
That's what you told me.
Yep. Well, I lie to you quite a bit, so.
Yes. That's all I found in dice rolls.
Alright, so these are the Americans, and this is Alan's list 750. Why don't you go over that for us?
Yeah, okay. I've got the first lieutenant, +2 with 1 extra rifleman. The lieutenant has a pistol. I have a forward air observer. This is the plane that will be coming in to decimate the Germans.
Yep.
I have 2 regular infantry squads of 8 men each. I have a Ranger 8-man unit, NCO. These are both NCO as well, all rifles. The paratroopers have 8-man unit. The NCO and 2 additional men have submachine guns. I have a medium machine gun. I have a medium howitzer and a medium mortar team with with a spotter.
Okay. And are these inexperienced?
Yes, all 3 of those are inexperienced.
The machine gun as well?
Machine gun as well. Yeah.
Oh.
Points. The air observer is not as cheap as you'd like to think. You know, so
well, it's cheap for what you get, but you have to buy them.
Exactly. You know, so I got 9 order dice, and as you were saying, you know, yours is veteran heavy. Mine's also, I would call it veteran heavy, just given this, you know, equal numbers make veteran heavier than the regular, but there's lots of support.
Yeah.
Maybe not as fast as
well, yeah, I was just looking. It seems like you have a lot more stuff than me, but I have basically 140 to 150 points in trucks. You know,
right.
So I've got 2 medium machine guns. As long as there's crew in there, I've got. But after the crew's out, then it's a 70-point chunk of metal with an order dice. So.
Yes.
So we're going to play the scenario today that's called, what's that called?
Point defense.
Point defense. And we're going to play testing Steve Boley, who's kind of one of the organizers.
No, demolition. I'm sorry.
Demolition. Kind of one of the organizers down at Gauntlet Games. He's been asking me for a little bit of feedback on some of my thoughts on the tournament, and I wanted to give him some educated information before I just start firing stuff off as far as the tournament scoring system. If you watched any of my other battle reports, we were playing maximum attrition with some bonus dice in the middle. I liked that. I think it gave a different kick or a flavor to a maximum attrition game where you get some bonus scoring. Also, at the end of that game, you know, mine was pretty close. I got a win, and we're not sure how they're going to score the tournament exactly, like win, loss, draw, I'm assuming. But then you're going to have a bonus category of your battle points that you actually destroy. So we're going to be playing this demolition. Mm-hmm. And what we're planning to do is same rules as just like normal. Not going to go reinventing the wheel. But if you destroy the enemy's base first, you're the first one to do that, you score +3 bonus points. And we're going to be keeping score with the maximum attrition type rules, where it's 1 point per unit you destroy. If you're the second person to destroy the enemy's objective, then you get 1 point extra. So it still strongly encourages you to be the attacker and to destroy the enemy's position, but it will also give the other side, I mean, if you do that at such a risk that your entire army is destroyed, then, you know, that would be possibly a loss for you, which in a scenario where some lieutenant ordered his entire force into the gut to just destroy a ammo dump and lost 90% of his men, you know, that would be considered a loss, I believe, in most people's eyes. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we will get to starting to deploy. Scenario we rolled up is demolition. He placed a pillbox and I placed one. They don't count as pillboxes, but so half of his army starts on the board. He's got his howitzer here on the road. He's got his rangers here behind this wall, kind of in the middle. He's got a medium machine gun team in the woods. His observers up there in that destroyed building, and he's got his medium mortar over here. I start on the board with this half track, and it has a unit of veterans in there. I got my anti-aircraft gun kind of commanding the middle, and that's just another picture of where his observers are. His rangers make their free move, and they move up here behind this wall. Pull the first dice, and it's a mortar team, and they fire a shot, and he's starting to target my flak. One of the things is I'm hidden, but that doesn't help against that, although he'll keep needing 6s. You can't zero in. So I'm hidden, and I decide to go into ambush. Don't want to remove my hidden to fire this turn. And then my half-track advances a little bit down the road, just enough so I can put some machine gun fire on the rangers, and they actually go down. I was kind of surprised at that. I needed 6s to hit with the 4 shots, but I guess he figured he's just going to wait to see what I do and go down. He fires indirect with his howitzer towards my flak gun, and rolled a 5, so fortunate for me, missed. I run my veterans with the assault rifles, a couple assault rifles, into the lower level of that building. And he fires his medium machine gun, and he's spraying it towards my flak gun, needing, I think, 9s to hit, but he still almost hit. Rolled a 6, followed by a 5. And then that pretty much is going to end the first turn right there. So we'll go to a little video here. I'll be right back with you. Alright, that ends turn 1. At the end of turn 1, there wasn't a whole lot happening since half the army is on reserve. I had my anti-aircraft gun in ambush. I didn't want to fire it for the exact reason, because he's got a medium mortar and a medium howitzer both trying to shoot at it, and a medium machine gun. So I figured I'd have it in ambush. That way, if something presented itself that was too juicy to shoot, I would knock it out or shoot at it. But other than that, he's always needing a 6 to hit me as long as I'm hidden for indirect. He can't zero in on me. So this thing here is in a nice spot hidden there, keeping the middle of the board a nice threat. And then I moved my unit into the building. The Rangers decided to go down. I guess maybe since I was in an ambush, it might have something to do with it. Coming across that road, they might have got chewed up a little bit, or you're just maybe trying to keep them intact. I don't know. They're in behind a nice wall there. Other than that, not much happening. The air observer decided to wait for better opportunities. So what are you thinking there, Alan?
Well, yeah. The reason I went down was to preserve them, for later. Make sure I didn't suffer any pain.
Yeah.
It was just making it more difficult to do that.
And it did, because I would have had a hit, but
Right,
7 made.
Yeah.
This here, the medium machine gun needed about a 10, I think, and it still almost hit. Rolled a 6, followed by a 5. Almost got it. Almost got it.
That would have been super, super important.
It could have been.
Any pin unhides it. And,
No, pins don't unhide it.
Yeah, once you hit it.
No, I have to fire or move.
No, I think once you're hit.
No, even it says indirect. Indirect fire, you can't zero in. It's always 6s.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. We'll look it up.
But yeah, pretty uneventful round. Some pot shots taken here and there. A little bit of jockeying for position. See who's going to get where.
Yep.
Let's see what goes on number 2.
All right, number 2. All right, yeah, we just looked that rule up and learned something new every time we play. Enemy unit scores a hit on a hidden unit other than a prep bombardment. That unit's not hidden anymore. I did not know that. I don't think it's ever happened. So, so
I don't think so.
So, Alan, you can do your I was right.
Yes, I told you so.
There we go. Okay. Now now I will have to.
Yes,
to
now
crush
he's
him.
vauntedly hated.
Yeah. Well, you've always been hated. All right, back to turn 2. Turn 2, he likes to fire smoke with his medium howitzer, and he targets right to the left side of my flak gun, and he actually rolls a 6, and he hits. So he would have hit it, although since it's still hidden, he wouldn't have been able to zero in on a 2-up, so the smoke probably was a better idea, and he did hit, so I can't see crap. He brings the infantry squad in there behind the shrubs. I fail my check to bring my half track on, and I had it full of all these guys, my pioneers and my regular infantry. I fail with a 9. So that kind of sucks. It's not the end of the world, but it does kind of suck. He fires his mortar, and I believe he targets my squad in the building. He fails to hit, though. Yeah, he did target them. Failed to hit. So my flak gun, now that I can't see any of the prime targets, I go ahead and decide to fire. The only thing I can see is his medium machine gun team and his mortar. So I go ahead and let the medium machine gun have it, and I'm able to wipe it out. I had 8 shots, firing HED2. And even if I needed 6s, I managed to score enough to kill it. Go ahead and I go crazy and I move these guys out behind this wall, and I let the Rangers have it. They're down, but I'm still able to get a bunch of hits, like way more than I probably should have, and because they don't have the tree or the building at the wall. And he fails his check on a 9. He needed a 9, and he failed his check. So I killed more than half, and they're destroyed. So Rangers got wiped out. That was pretty awesome. But as you can see, I've kind of committed my troops to being exposed to quite a bit of. I know he's got a lot of stuff to bring in. So I go ahead and bring the half track over to try to help out. And instead of firing the infantry squad, I target the medium howitzer, and I'm able to put 3 wounds on it. Out of my 4 shots, almost all of them hit, and I'm killing those guys on a 3-up because they did not pay the extra points for the gun shield. So now he starts bringing some stuff in, passes his check. These are paratroopers. Paratroopers come up, and they've got nothing blocking them between my guys other than the long range, and he's able to put a pin on and kill a guy. These guys come in over on the same side, so now he's overloading this side of the board. These are regulars, and they are able to put a couple of shots. And even though I have the wall in between me and them, and they're at long range, they're able to actually kill a guy as well. So I got 2 pins on me. He brings his lieutenant in behind his paratroopers. So he's fully committing his troops to the annihilation of the guys who killed his Rangers. I elect to do kind of a risky thing here. I move my lieutenant out, and I was trying to put that last wound on the howitzer. I was able to hit it, but I was unable to kill it. So that was a risky gamble that didn't quite pay off. I wanted to get rid of the howitzer. And then yeah, so that's that. And then he's got his observer. He puts his target on my half track with his airplane. Alright, that's the end of turn 2. Some activity here around the house. I got a little ballsy, moved my veterans out because it gave me a good shot on those rangers, and it really paid off for me with some nice dice rolling to wound. I was able to get a lucky exceptional damage, and he failed his check by 1 when I killed half the unit. Then they started taking some retaliation. So, I mean, he's rolling pretty decent too. Not putting a lot of fire on me, but got 2 pins and killed 2 guys. Took a gamble with my lieutenant and his attendant to try to take out that howitzer. Finalized that. I did get a hit on it, but didn't kill it. And he put trying to call in an airstrike on my Hanamag there. So the big thing for me this turn, other than that good rolling, was I took a gamble. I was going to try to. I can bring these guys in however I want. There's nothing in the rules that says they have to come in any particular way. I elected, when I rolled though, to have everybody in the half track and try to get them all in for one roll, and that didn't happen. So I may switch them around and bring them in piecemeal next turn. It would have been nice to have it on, but not the end of the world. One less target for an aircraft, I guess. This smoke was pretty big deal. He blocked off my flak gun from being able to contribute to where most everything now is. Meow. And then, but I was able to kill the medium machine gun team with a barrage of fire. So what are you thinking there, Alan? I know you're disappointed that your Rangers got.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in the Rangers. Just absolutely eliminated. Even with the down, wasn't able to survive.
Hold on, baby.
But I'm not in a bad position. I have a whole lot, right in the area. But boy, I sure could have used those veterans.
One thing that I did notice, though, that your vengeance, I think, fueled everybody coming in that one spot now. So now everything's pretty focused there, and you've got nothing kind of over by your bunker. So now I need to decide, when I do bring my Hanamag in, run for the bunker, or come support here, because I can't let you just run over that one unit, then you'll be into my bunker. So that's what's kind of cool about this scenario. It's like, okay, now we know where the things are at. I have the kind of the reaction, and will it be the right one or not? I need to hope this smoke blows away, and I need to hope that artillery misses, or that aircraft misses. Although I think you might be putting pins on a lot of your own stuff as well, but we'll see what happens here.
We'll see what happens.
Alright, we're going to get to turn 3.
Okay.
Starting the turn, the airstrike is delayed, does not come in, so that's kind of good news. And then we start pulling, and the smoke does not drift either, so that sucks. We start pulling order dice, and unfortunately he pulls one first, because if I could have pulled another one, I could easily destroyed another squad with my veterans. He moves them up to short range, and he's able to start killing a lot more. I didn't want to go. I did go down actually to try to preserve them, but he still was able to kill quite a few. Over here, I go ahead and fire my anti-aircraft gun at the only other visible target, which is his mortar, and I think I needed 7s to hit them. And I'm able to score 1 hit, and I roll on the D2, and I get 2, and I'm able to kill 2 of the 3 crewmen, and they fail their check. So that was actually very lucky, but I had nothing else to shoot at. So my anti-aircraft gun, although it doesn't have very many targets because of that smoke, I'm able to take advantage of it. He pulls another order dice here, and I didn't want to move my lieutenant into the truck, but he moves those guys up right there, and he decides to fire my lieutenant. And even though it's a small squad, at that close a range with nothing in between, I did go down, but he still was able to destroy them. That was unfortunate. Able to pass my check and bring my other half track in. I'd taken the 5 infantrymen out of it though, because I wanted to get something on the board, and unfortunately I took them out before I rolled. So I was able to move the half track up. I dumped the pioneer squads. They run into the lower level of this building, so I'm trying to come help my beleaguered guys. So that means I still have a Panzer Shrek team in the half track. The squad moves up, advances, and they might have been able to trace a line of fire
into the lower level where the pioneers were. His lieutenant just moves up, and he didn't do any damage or hit if he did that, but they just moved, that one squad moved up. Lieutenant just kind of stays behind the paratroopers. He tries to rally his howitzer, and I believe he fails this turn. And then his observer can't do anything because they haven't resolved that other fire order yet. So he just, I think, goes down. And then that's pretty much... Oh, and then my half-track's the last thing to move. I know there's an airstrike coming on it. I don't want it to be closer to him than me, so I move it over by my guy, but enough so I can probably try to get pins on everybody.
Alright, that ends turn 3. The big thing kind of there was, for me, he got the first dice, which sucked. I had to go down with my guys to try to preserve that unit. They're still alive, but they've taken 3 pins. They would have lost the NCO, but I passed my check. And then he got, since I was down, there's nothing to keep him at bay, so he just kind of walked into the road and shot at my lieutenant. I thought for a minute my lieutenant would live, but wasn't able to. So then he's just pushed up there. His airplane strike didn't come in, so I'm actually hoping it comes in this turn. I just went ahead. I was going to move my half-track away with that artillery strike on it, but since my lieutenant's dead and I'm facing the entire American army here, I'm hoping to just have that come in on my half-track and pin a whole bunch of his stuff. Mine's already pinned down pretty good, so I'm going to try to give him his own taste of his own medicine, even if it comes in successfully. I was able to finally get my half-track on. I didn't bring everything in. I got the pioneers in there, and they actually moved into the house. Probably put some pins on them too, but oh well. Just gonna have to delay a little bit there. And I got my Panzerschreck team still in the half-track. This guy here killed another unit. Inexperienced is easy to kill with the bonus penetration, but I have to hope that smoke drifts, or he's just stuck there with nothing to do for a while. I guess I could bring a half-track over. I guess I could still tow it out of there, but that would take forever. But what do you think on their American adversary?
That was a much better round for me. There's a decision whether to take out the lieutenant here or throw on some point-blank range there, but they were already down. They're called cover, even point-blank, it's 35. So I decided to go ahead and take out the lieutenant, because then those pins count for more. They're actually those pins. Everything else, the aircraft could certainly dismantle some stuff. I think my veteran's far enough away that probably going to be all right. But my lieutenant is still in the game, so that's going to help. The Hanamag coming in from the distance on my objective is okay by me. I feel okay right now. There is a lot of everybody's stuff in the Air Force's crosshairs.
Yeah, it's going to see. It's be interesting to see what that does.
That'll be kind of interesting.
Okay, looks like we're going to go to turn 4 and see what's happening. All right.
Starts off, the airstrike does come in, puts pins on a lot of stuff, 2 on my Pioneers, I think, in the building, and pins all around. The airplane coming in there. My flak shoots at it, needing 6s, I believe, and I don't score any hits at all, about 8 shots. He's able to easily kill the half-track, so it's exploded. And it continues on. So then, yeah, look at my squad is pretty wailed on there. And again, I'm not able to pull an order dice first, so he advances these guys up. They're basically point blank, and he starts shooting. He's able to kill more than half, and actually kills all but 1. But with all those pin markers and my lieutenant being dead, I don't really have a chance to pass that, and I don't. So I dead. And then he kind of surprised me. He charges my Pioneers in the building. He was too close. He was like 6 away, so he's too close for me to shoot. But we go at the same time. He kills 2 guys, so I take off my 2 riflemen, and I win the battle because I have a bunch of submachine guns, I'm able to destroy that unit. So that was a nice surprise for me. Not surprised that I won, but I just was thinking, it just worked out. So he puts an airstrike, calls an airstrike on my other half track that has a Panzerschreck crew in it. So it looks like another airplane's gonna be coming in soon. So I just go ahead and move this thing up the road. I can advance pretty far using road movement, turn twice, and I turn and face the air observer, and I go ahead and fire my medium machine gun at him, just trying to get lucky. The smoke still hasn't moved. I can't really see anything, so I just turn this thing just in case the smoke does drift, as far as my anti-aircraft gun, I mean. And my Panzerschreck crew runs out of the half track because I'm pretty sure it's going to die, and they just bail for the woods. Now fortunately here, he needed to pass a morale check on an 8 because he took a pin from that airplane, and he fails because he could have still seen my Panzerschreck crew in the woods and advanced and shot them pretty good. Here I come pouring out of the building, and I thought about what I was going to do, and when I figured it out, basically I wanted to get that flamethrower in play. It had to be 6 inches away. I could have fired a few submachine guns at these guys. So I go ahead and advance out, firing point blank. I got like 4 submachine guns and 3 submachine guns and a flamethrower, and put some additional pins on with the flamethrower, but I don't kill. I only rolled at 2 for the amount of hits of the flamethrower. Flamethrower didn't run out of fuel. Fortunately, he's got quite a few pins on him, so I'm hopeful he will fail an order check, but he does have a lieutenant with +2 that's going to be able to move up and help him. If I could have killed these guys, then nothing would have stopped me from killing that howitzer and his lieutenant probably in the next 2 turns. So now I have to hope if he activates, or he fails an activation check, or he's going to pull that unit to the right to come help. His howitzer, I think, had rallied the turn before against the odds, but it had taken 2 pins from the airplane, but he's able to pass the check. So.
Alright, that's the end of turn 4. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I moved that squad out, point blank, submachine gun with the flamethrower. I was really hoping I would destroy that unit. The lieutenant was out of range, and he had -4 to his check, and he still passed. So we rolled a 5. That sucked. Because if I could have destroyed that, then it would have been just 2 more freebie dead things back here on the next turns. He wouldn't have been able to really hurt that unit without committing those center guys. He did fail his check, so he wasn't able to go after the Panzerschreck team. So the next few dice are going to be pretty crucial.
Yeah.
We got these guys to worry about. He does have to try to stop my Panzerschreck team, because if I get to that bunker first, then I'll get 3 points. It's like scoring 3 units. So it's getting tight. We're going to be going into turn 5. What are you thinking there, Alan?
I'm thinking the same thing. This was probably the biggest deal to me, them failing that check to go after the Panzerschreck, because I was in a much better position with this dev, because everything was over here, with that unit over here and me not being able to stop it right off the bat, that was kind of big. Other than that, I'm sure glad they didn't go away.
Yeah, that would have been crushing.
To assist in some damage control. And
whoever pulls the first dice there, if you pass,
yeah.
probably gonna kill the other guy.
Right. And so there it is. And we just have to see what happens on dice number 1 of the order dice, turn 5.
And we do have an airstrike coming in, and we need to move that smoke out of the way. Because if we can move that smoke out of the way, I can start killing shit with that gun. That smoke is
right. And
horrible.
This is the first time we've used smoke.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have been in the trees, I wouldn't have been hidden in the beginning. But then I could have also, I could have been behind the trees, and then I could have moved around the smoke by now.
Right.
I can move that thing 6 inches, but I can't move it because it's in the trees.
Right.
But alright, so we're going to see what happens start at turn 5.
Yeah.
Actually, for me, he pulls the order dice here. He declares to charge in, so he gets to remove all those pin markers. He's too close for me to reaction fire, and he gets to go first. And whoop, kills me. He had, I think, 3 submachine guns in there. 2 guys and then the NCO. if I remember correctly. But yeah, him getting to go first. I'm not even sure if I got a strike back, but he consolidates a couple inches over to there. So my veterans are all dead, but I have managed to keep him all in one little area. If I could have my anti-aircraft gun going, that would be great. But my Panzer crew, Panzer crew, they can only advance through the woods, but now they're blocked. That 2 inches of woods block line of sight, so they're pretty safe there. Again, the smoke is still there, so my gun can't do much. I just put it in ambush. That way, if something does happen to present itself, maybe he comes after that Panzer crew and I can see him, I'll let him have it. These guys fail again, another check, needing an 8. So, yeah, that pretty much keeps my Panzer crew happy and alive. Oh, that airplane didn't come in either, so I don't know what to do with it exactly. I just drive it down here so it'd be closer to my stuff than his. And I have moved an infantry squad in on the bottom left there. They're just a 5-man regular infantry squad. But over here, his mortar or his howitzer either fails or turns or something.
Okay, that's the end of turn 5. The biggest thing was he had pulled his order dice first and he passed that check. So he was able to, he actually assaulted me. I didn't know if he was going to just shoot me or assault me, but I was only able to kill one guy back. I didn't have any cover, so he went first. And then he did fail another check with those guys though, so allowed my Panzer team easily to be working their way towards the objective. We were just kind of talking about how many order dice we've scored. I was thinking I was down by quite a few. We both killed 4 of each other's. I'm probably going to lose this hand mag, but with the bonus points for the objective thing they were talking about, I can score 3 because I'd be the first one to capture. So I just got my 5 guys, which could die, and then he'd get the point for that from his veterans, so I got to kind of hold on. I do have a gun. If he does come too close, I'm in ambush. I'm thinking if he comes too close, I'll have a field of fire, at least to give those guys a what for 1 turn. Same with over here. I'm kind of thinking if he comes after the bunker thing with those guys, I'll have at least somebody to help. That stupid smoke, if that would clear off, I could kill that howitzer, kill that lieutenant standing on the road, you know, start putting some fire on some stuff, but that smoke was a good shot. Being in the trees was stupid too, now I think about it, but I need to get me a Kubel wagon or something to tote those, just Jeep tote those things out around and stuff. But what are you thinking over there?
Well, I'm thinking that because of the Panzer team here, it's going to be tough. You know, I'm going to have to kill it to barter a tie. I've got to stop that from coming in, you know, from happening.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, I've got to stop it from happening.
You don't have a lot of options.
I don't have a lot of options, no. I only have maybe 1, you know, that I can see. I have 2. I see 2 options of being able to possibly, you know, remove that.
Yeah, your howitzer foobarred, so it didn't do what you wanted it to.
You know, and this failed the order check.
Yeah.
Other than that, you know, I don't feel terrible about this game. I'm liking how the game is playing out.
Yeah, over here I was a little disappointed, but I have to say, early on when it started to get engaged in there, I was thinking I'm just feeding my guys into the meat grinder because I had that other half track. My goal was to I was going to try to drive over there.
Right.
But then when you put that artillery or that air strike on it, I'd be like, I better get these guys out now. I did leave those guys susceptible to a turn of fire, but fortunately you failed your checks 2 turns in a row now.
Right.
So yeah, it's been very up and down. Lots of little, what am I going to do? You know, you've taken my biggest threat from most of your stuff out of the game with a smoke round.
Which has been, you know, that has been very.
I mean, you did roll a 6, you know, and you hit it there, but you could have hit me with it. But then it's good that you did smoke, because if you wouldn't have killed me, I probably would have concentrated a little more fire on that howitzer, because I couldn't move though. I would have been stuck.
I'm recommending smoke.
Yeah, so far.
That's got artillery.
Now, normally, if that would have drifted, it would have took you a couple turns to get that, but you still could have got the same result eventually.
Could it have drifted to?
It needs to drift. You need a 1 or a 2 to get that thing to move or do something, and then but no, can't. You won't help me out with that. Alright, so we're going to go to turn 6, and there is still a possible turn 7. So, although I don't think I've rolled one yet in any game I've played. But you never made a rally check before, so who knows what.
Yeah, right.
Alright, so here we go. Turn 6.
These guys had come on the turn before, and they had fired at his paratroopers over there. But this turn I decided to put him in ambush. That way if he comes closer to me, I can get all my guys in range. One of the guys is out of range. I moved this half track down here because it still hasn't blown up from the airplane. And I can't shoot anything with it, so I just parked it closer to my guys. I'm just trying to block off that pillbox. These lieutenant is coming over to try to get this squad to activate. I'm trying to help them. And they are, I believe, able to activate, but it's too late, or they may have failed again. My Panzerschreck crew goes ahead and moves up to the objective, so they'll be able to destroy it at the end of the turn. And yeah, I think he did fail again, even with the lieutenant there, so that really hurt him. He wasn't able to respond to my Panzerschreck crew. These guys started advancing up just in case there is a turn 7. I go ahead and activate from my ambush, and I'm able to put a pin on them. I actually kill a guy too, so 5 shots, I was able to kill a guy and put a pin on. And he fires at me, and he's able to put a pin on me, and that pretty much ends the turn.
Alright, that's the end of turn 6. So the end of turn 6, not a whole lot happening. I just stalled until my Panzerschreck could move into base contact with the objective to blow it up. With the Panzerschreck rounds are going to blow up the whatever it is, supply depot or something. These guys popped out of their ambush and did kill a airborne.
Yeah.
And he put a pin on me. And so I destroy that at the end of the turn. So just remove it off the board.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, blow it up. And then we're going to roll to see if it goes to a turn 7.
Okay.
And we need a 4, 5, or 6 to continue.
4,
And it does.
Yes.
So we're going to a turn 7, which is probably good for Alan.
Probably good for Alan.
Yeah, because he can score some units. He's got an airstrike still bound. Could score one there. Could pick off the Panzerschreck team. And that will...
yeah, holy smokes. This is good.
Okay. Roll to see if the smoke drips. So we'll go and we'll just record this. We'll record it. Yeah. So smoke stays.
And
aircraft. 1. Oh, almost a 1.
And
so it's delayed.
Yeah,
so I'm going to survive that.
That means that's actually the game, because before I could have killed that unit, because I didn't have anything within 12 inches. Am I within 12 inches of that?
I don't think so. No.
No. Yeah, so if I could have killed those 2 units,
well, the airstrike wouldn't have killed 2. It would have killed that, but then they would have took some pins.
Right.
And then you could have got close up and shot some more.
Perhaps killed that, got over here, killed this.
Yeah,
that would have been 3 units, which would have eliminated this, tied the game.
Because I've got 4... 1, 2... I got 4 things left. So you've killed 4, and I've killed 4? Is that right?
Yes. So if I would have killed that one,
so I'm up by 3, just because you're not going to be able to capture this.
Exactly.
Because that would score you 1.
I could, theoretically, eliminate that unit,
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah, the Panzerschreck easily. I mean, if I pull a dice, that's what I'd probably do, is run that
as far away
to the right.
Yes.
If you pull a dice,
I
would shoot the howitzer at it first thing and try to blow it apart. Kill it with a single shot.
Yeah.
Maybe either one.
Yeah, but so there it is.
So
without that,
do you want to roll up the?
I'm going to go with a good game.
And mainly,
it was a lot of fun.
It's mainly a draw with a win from the victory conditions.
Right.
Which, if even without the plus points, I think that would still be a win So it didn't really change anything dramatically.
Yeah, right.
Now, if we were playing in a tournament like we're planning, you'd want to try to kill those last 2 units.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I was saying, if we were playing in a tournament, you'd want. I'm not sure how they're going to score it, but I imagine those would count towards your overall score.
Yeah.
So it'd be a win-loss / you scored, 4, 5, 6 order dice dead,
Right.
and or if you still had a chance to capture that last one. Yeah, so then when you go to the next table, you match up against somebody who scored similarly too. I have to say, I felt like I was losing much of the game.
Right. And you were not.
Well, I mean, I was running my guys into the meat grinder there, and I wasn't planning to leave the building until you got so aggressive with those paratroopers to get so close to my guys.
Right.
And then I thought, oh, I can't pass up a chance to flamethrower them. I was gonna just stay in the building and be a roadblock, thorn in your side.
Yeah.
That if you tried to ignore, then I maybe pop out and flamethrower or something. But
Yeah.
now the Hanamags did okay. I mean, they're not. I still feel like they're overpriced.
For what you get.
Yeah, I mean, it is a medium machine gun, but you have to leave a guy in there. I'd like to see the rules change where you can fire that sucker all the time, but then maybe they might be too cheap. I don't know.
Right.
I would take them regular though.
They would probably raise the price.
But they're 80 some points.
And a gun.
But they're 80 some points as it is.
Right.
I take mine inexperienced because you have to have a crew to fire. But I don't know. I'm not going to redesign the game, but it is kind of aggravating once you. Maybe I should just order some trucks and not even worry about it. Then just have them drive.
That's what I'm thinking.
Dump them off.
Just go order me some trucks, and especially for the Russians, because there's such a large infantry army. Trucks are even, if you go with like deuce and a half, put your 3 squad on there, rush them in as far as possible.
Well, my flak gun, I think it actually scored me 2 dice. It took all of your artillery shooting for the first round. Being hidden was nice.
Yeah.
But other than that, it didn't really do a lot. Didn't hit the aircraft at all. I mean, needing 6s. And that's something I've read on some forums. It's like, don't bother, because you never hit it or hurt it. Yeah. Barring a Yahtzee roll of 6s, you're not going to do. But it did kind of the idea of what I planned to do sometimes with my anti-tank guns is I kind of divided the table a little bit. I kept it, but I don't know. We'll play test it from there. I need to paint it and keep going. If I had a vehicle designated to tow it too, then I wouldn't have to worry about planting it somewhere. But all right, well, that was a good, hard-fought game.
That was good. That was
your artillery strike never coming in the second time. I didn't have a whole lot of targets for your artillery either. But,
right.
That one up there, I was just like, yeah, screw it. We'll all take pins. And it actually affected it quite a bit because that unit failed 2 in a row.
2 in a row order checks, which it wouldn't have had to take had that not come along.
Yeah, it didn't really affect the main combat units. But, Alright, well, thanks for watching our video, and I'm not sure when we'll get the next one up, but sometime in the future. But definitely, tournament again is August 15th. You check out Bolt Action Eastern Nebraska, and you can find some information for it, and that's it. All right.
Very good.
Bye.